I cantieri sono soliti chiamare I loro prodotti con nomi tratti per lo più dal mondo marino.
Boatyards usually name their creations with names that come from the SeaWorld, so when a builder decides to call one of its series Adrenaline, it better know what it's doing. This superboat has been built by LOMAC, an Italian boatyard that needs no introduction in most European countries. Its history is well known, as is its products.
Da molti anni il costruttore realizza prodotti che sono impegnati anche nelle competizioni ed è
The builder has been making boats that compete for some years now, which is probably where they got the idea to create a sport series, which includes 4 models ranging from 7.5 to 9.5 meters. The Adrenaline 9.0 is 8.75 meters long and 297 centimeters wide, with a dry weight of 1,900 kilos.
Mi domando se con una simile corporatura sia...
I wonder if such an agile, edgy and nippy thing is worthy of the name it carries.
Possiede un forte family feeling con il resto della gamma. D'altra parte il progettista è...
It has a very similar feel to the others in the series, not surprising as the designer is the same Federico Fiorentino. Materials used are top quality. It's made of moulded vinyl ester resin, above and below deck. It has a neopentyl gel coat, best on the market, which is applied to the hull as a barrier against osmosis. Like the rest of the range, you can choose the colour of the hull, the tubulars and carpets in a vast series of chosen shades.
Tra poco decideremo se è davvero capace.
Soon we'll figure out just how good it is. Right now, let's see if we like it. The front sun deck is ideal for 2 people without worrying about extending anything. The joining point faithfully reflects the spirit of the boat with its slender, sporty lines, and at the same time it helps the driver's positioning. It's ideal for controlling the boat at high speeds. The cushion on the driver's seat is well padded and its rounded edges help it stay in place. The padding, as with other cushions, is easily removable. There are lifelines everywhere. Under the deck house there's a cabin, finished off beautifully, and of course furnished as the owner wants. There's a kitchen above deck which can have a sink, a hob, fridge, fold-away table that goes in the cockpit, so all space is used. The sofa is moulded for 4 and the backrests stretch out to the sun deck. Technical components and deck facilities have been chosen carefully, like these subtle retractable columns. The bow area is huge and opens up electrically. It's completely decked out in teak, and the bowsprit, even though its weight should counter performance, well, it's smart looking enough that it justifies its presence. The sunshade is hidden under the sun deck.
Ho già provato tutti I modelli Adrenalina.
I've already tried the Adrenaline models and all of them go over 50 knots. So it's time to test out if this 9.0 holds true to its creator's tradition.
In partenza.
Setting off, its nose is slightly high, so not unlike any other racing boat then.
Ma appena do un po' di gas.
But as soon as I push it more, it stretches out on the water. 2,500 revs and we're doing 20 knots. Already doing 20 knots and I've just started accelerating. We've 2 Yamaha 225 horsepower engines.
No, Non sto tremando per la paura di guidare l'Adrenalina 9.0. Sto tremando da...
No, I'm not shaking with fear of driving the Adrenalin 9.0. I'm shaking with the cold. Today there's a wind coming from the mountains which is quite strong. The sea is quite calm, but these gusts of wind could be a problem steering the boat.
A 3000 giri la velocità è di 25 nodi.
At 3,000 revs and 25 knots, balance is perfect. The rib slips easily over the surfaces. Little water is displaced at the bow, so I think we can say it's being pretty efficient. In fact, it's consuming about 42 litres an hour in total.
Il dritto di prora e la carena più...
The stem post and quite deep hull in the front sections means it moves through the water easily. Then the stern sections give the right hydrodynamic push, so it raises up with little resistance. 3,500 revs and we've gone over 30 knots. Look how easy it is to manage. Wonderful.
Le camere d'aria che alla fonda stabilizzano il battello a questa velocità.
The air chambers, which stabilise the boat at this speed, 35 knots, don't work when you are en route like this. They just kick in if you're turning, but only just so you don't exaggerate with the wake.
Questo apporto così misurato, leggero, evita che il gommone rimbalzi sulla camera d'aria.
This moderate intake stops the boat from bouncing on the air chambers, so avoiding loading dangers, at least in these conditions.
Ora, quando si cominciano a superare i 40 nodi...
Now, when we go higher than 40 knots, the aerodynamics become important too. This is why they've made the bow so sharp on deck and tapered the tubulars. Above 4,000 revs means we need to raise the trim.
Si comincia a volare, non sento neanche più il rumore della scia, perché il gommone quasi non tocca la superficie.
And we're flying. I can't even hear the noise of the wake because the rib is hardly touching the water. I'm doing 5,000 revs and 47 knots, but I've a little more petrol, so let's pull out all the 450 horses that these engines are capable of, like this.
Vediamo se mantiene le promesse questa Adrenalina 9.0. 50.
And let's see if it keeps its promise. This Adrenalin 9.0, 50, 51, 50, 51, 51 and a half. Oh yes, it goes over 50 knots.
Il nome di questo battello potrebbe far pensare a una intrinseca pericolosità.
This boat's name might make you think instinctively of some intrinsic danger, but it's not really like that. It sticks to the route really well, holding precisely and securely. Of course, everything depends on the waves, the wind and the driver more than anything, like in a car or bike when you go very fast. The Adrenalin 9.0 is made for excitement, but don't forget to be careful, and the security pin.